Hello, welcome to part 97 of this Airbnb clone Ruby on Rails series. And in this video, we'll focus on implementing the Google Maps. So if you'll see this URL, basically this is the search page that we have. So we will divide this into two parts. One will be the properties and second will be the Google Maps. So let's start working with that. Google Maps API, yes. Go to JavaScript, Maps JavaScript API. So I have used this in past. In a Rails project also, as well as I've used a lot of these APIs related to Google Cloud Platform in my mobile. So yeah, let's start with that. For this, get started. First, we'll have to create an API, okay? And we will have to enable that we want to use Google Maps, okay? So for that, let me create a project, a new project. I'll name it as Airbnb. Let's create this. Okay. The only thing different in this video was that I have already signed up on this platform, so I think you can do that too. And after that, you can just start using. In this, we'll go to APIs and services. So let's go there. Why is it not opening? Okay. And this is the API key that we have. So what I'll do is, even though I will copy it, it won't matter much right now. So what I'll do is I'll just go to Google Maps and start. I'm not sure if it will ask for a credit card or not, but if it does, for learning purposes you can add some details, because it won't start charging you until and unless you cross $200 per month restriction. This I'll do maybe later. And yeah, so that way you can at least test out things. Not this. I think we'll have to go to, let me check. Enable APIs. Let's start exploring this. Not sure if this is the correct. Let's go to documentation. Maps. Okay. Maybe Maps JavaScript API. So let's go there. In that we have already started this, so we have to see something. We have to add markers for every location in Google Map, right? So we will just go to this. How can we add markers? We can write this JavaScript code. You can also do this in TypeScript, but we are doing this in JavaScript, okay? So you can write this JavaScript. So what I will do is I'll just copy this code and first implement this functionality, okay? So let's see how you can start this. Getting started, create an HTML page. Let's go to this HTML page. So where they are using head as well as body, where can we make these changes? In head, we don't have to add title, we have to add this. So I'll copy this. Now think in our code where we can add it. We can add it in application.html.erb file. So let's add it here. Close this. Second is this script. Where can we add this? This, they have mentioned it in body, but what we will do is actually this map also. What I'll do is I'll paste it in search. So let's go to search index and let's copy this first and then let me think. How should the UI look? So this map should be on right of this, okay? So what we will have to do is we'll have to convert this into a grid columns 2. Let me save this, refresh. Yes, and now I'll have to change the grid for the item. So 3, 2, 1, yeah, or maybe 2, not sure. Yeah, 2 looks fine, and on SM I'll make it 1. No, on a small, the UI will be completely different actually. So let's not focus on that right now. Okay, so this is the UI that we want to focus on. On right side, we'll show Google Maps. So for that, and let me fix this indentation. In this, we will have to fix this API key also. So let's fix that. For that, I can go to my code APIs and services on Google Cloud Platform. This we have enabled, so we cannot go to this. We can go to keys and credentials. I think in that we have this. Show. Yeah, copy. And let's paste it here. So let's refresh. We cannot see anything because we haven't written the other code, which is this map. I'm not writing that code right now. A script we have already done, and we need this JavaScript code. So what I will do is I'll create a controller. JavaScript code is something that we have been writing. So let's create new file. I'll name it as map or maps. Let me think. Map controller.js. Okay, it should be inside controllers folder. Okay, I'll copy this hello controller, copy, paste, and inside this connect, I'll copy this JavaScript code fully, paste it here, fix the indentation, get rid of these comments because I know them up to an extent. This is something new. Advanced marker element is new. Earlier when I was implementing Google Maps in my other projects, I was always using marker. I explicitly remember that. So we might, and it was never this await async, those kind of things. We'll see. Let's not worry about that. So now we will have to connect this map with our index file. So let's do that with our search. Okay, so in that data controller, or maybe we can do one thing. Okay, let's keep it data controller maps, or it was map actually. So map, I'm keeping it map because I don't want to depend on Google Maps specifically. For example, if we start using Mapbox, which is a completely different platform, so in that case also we won't have to change a lot of values. We'll just have to change this logic which we got and some scripting code and all. And we can see this map. It looks bad, but for now it should work. Gap x2, something like this. I'll have to change its width and all. Max width should be 3xl. No. So what do we, this 8xl. 8xl doesn't work, so let's get rid of this and let's get rid of this also. I just want to make it a bit like this. Okay, and we have this empty top. Let's get rid of this. Let's increase this gap to 4. Looks better, and let's make it rounded also. So for that I'll go to map class rounded empty. Fine, we will have to fix this height. So for that we'll do that later on. I think it can get difficult for me. Yes, we will fix that later on. So now what we have to do is we have to show these property related locations in here. How can we do that? If we can pass the latitude and longitude from each and every property to this Google Maps, which is a controller, then we can show these markers, right? So for that what we will do is we already have a map. we'll create a let me think, data let me check our property item. How is it laid out? Property item, and in this do we already have a wishlist controller. Let me try this. I'm not at all sure if this will work. Data controller map instead of this. Let's see, refresh, and it is not working. Add stimulus JS to render function in Rails. Locals and all, nope. Okay, so this I don't know how I have to do this. So what I will do is, right now I'll make it simple. I'll directly copy this entire item and paste it here, and I'll fix the indentation and some UI changes also. So right now we are not passing minimal value, which we were doing earlier, so I'll have to get rid of this. If else, what is it? Bad count and available dates. We don't need available dates because user is already searching it, but we do need this. So let's add it here, and I'll cut this entire thing, get rid of this if else because we cannot use it, and use this. Let's get rid of this to do also. Anything else? Wish list and all, we will need those controllers. So let's add a controller here. Data controller, sorry, we have already added controller at top, so we'll add a target here. Data map, which is the controller name, and then target, and we'll write it as property. Okay, now in maps we can define the target, which is static. This is just control stimulus JS that we have been using earlier. If you don't know, simply go through stimulus JS, which is this, and you just have a look at these two codes and you might start understanding this. It is not that hard. Okay, so let's create target, which is property. So now we know this property target will get assigned to let me go here. This property target will get assigned to each and every property. So we have like 5 properties, so all those 5 properties will have this target. So now we can access all these targets at once. So let's do that first. This dot property, which is this keyword, and then target, but because we have to access all of it, so targets dot for each. We can get rid of this array. I'll just console.log latitude, latitude, and longitude, but we will have to write code for that also. Let me break it into multiple lines. Let's add latitude and longitude for this data. So okay, let me explain this to. I'm explaining this stimulus JS again just because there might be some user who is just watching this Google Maps thing, which is a common thing in Google searches and YouTube searches. So using this target, we can access this entire div and its child element in this element. Okay, property. So if I attach some attributes here, we can access it in this. So let me attach data latitude. To attach some data, we always have to use data dash, and this will become the name. And let me write ARB code, which is property dot latitude. Copy this, paste this, longitude, and now let's fetch them. So for that, property dot data set dot latitude, TITUD. Same thing here, TUDE. Let's check if we can console log this. Inspect, console, refresh, and something is not working. What? Latitude, LATITUDE. First is this one. Refresh. Error, controller properties for defined for each. Something is not working. Property targets, map target, property. Connecting controller, type error, cannot read properties of undefined for each. Let me check stimulus.js if I'm making any mistake. For each, okay, E should be small. Nope. Let's get rid of this code, refresh, and we can see maps is working, so definitely this code is the problem. Let's get rid of this code, refresh. Okay. For each on array in JavaScript. Let's do that. And target name, we have done it correctly. E should be capital. Maybe this dot output target. So this dot property target, but instead of target we are using targets to get multiple. Now let's have a look at JavaScript. This we have this, which we have converted into an arrow function, and we are trying to log this, but it is not working. Why is this not working? Let me have a look. Refresh. Type error, cannot read properties of undefined, reading for each. Correcting controller. Do we have this anywhere else? No. Data, latitude, data, longitude, latitude, longitude. Let me check these items, inspect, and if we go to the top of this item, we can see latitude and longitude are set correctly. So that means only problem is passing the data, and because this is running, that's why we are getting this error. So connection with controller is also correct, and Google Maps is working in that case. Element, refresh, inspect, console, cannot read properties of undefined for each. Let me directly copy this. Or maybe let's log this, console.log size. Let's use this. There is no length such. Comment this, refresh. Okay, we cannot use this length size. Okay, definitely issue with property targets only. this dot target, static target, okay, targets. I made mistake here, one mistake, and it took like 4 to 5 minutes. So we have these 5 divs for each and every property and all, in which we can get all those details also. So this should work now. Let's get rid of this, refresh, and we can see latitude and longitude. So great, it's working. Now we will have to use it correctly here. So for that, let me think. We have to add this marker multiple times. So cut this and paste it here. Let's see. And cut this, because this is the code responsible for adding the marker. Paste this here, but instead of position, which was created earlier, what we will do is we'll copy this. For latitude we will use this, and for longitude we'll use this, and get rid of these consoles also. And I'll mention it as location so that there is no confusion between this position and this location. And refresh. Let's see. Let's zoom out. No, it's not working. Cannot read properties of this target, this. Okay, because we are in async function, that's why it's creating problems. So what we can do is we can still do it like this. Let me create a const location or properties, not the best word, but still we'll have to use it. Let's do this, refresh. It's taking time, so I'm assuming it might work. Let's see. Localhost. Yep, it's taking too much time. Maybe definitely stuck somewhere. Property targets, properties dot for each marker we can add. We have this position which I've mentioned it as location now. Location title will change later, it's not an issue. Let's scroll out. We don't have anything here. Position invalid, not an instance of let long. It should be an instance of let long, so I'll have to pass it as float. It was coming it in as a string, so I'll have to pass it as float. These are small things. If you are just focusing on Google Maps, I think now you can easily do it on your own. But if you are focusing on this entire video series, then these are the things that we have to tackle on each and every day. So yeah. It's taking time definitely because of this only, but at least now we have multiple markers. Okay, even if it is taking time, we have multiple markers, and some out of this country, this entire map. So we will update these later on, no worries. Let's do one thing. I want to focus on one more thing, which is Google Maps API. What was it? This was advanced marker element. I'm assuming there should be some setting in this which can help us further. Let me close this. Build your first map with a marker. Maybe in this we can find something. Customizing, nope, not this. all concepts and all. Nope. Let's search it here. Let's open this. Google Maps API. Creating an advanced marker, something like this. Okay, nothing in this. Basic, create basic marker customization. Okay, these are the markers that we can use, sizes and all those kind of things. But what I want to do is I want to make it completely favorable for us. So for that, I'll use this HTML CSS one. And let's try to use this type of thing. So for that, what do we have to do? We have to do something like this. Create a div. Where do we have to do? I'll create it for each and every element. Something like this. Not the best way, but still. And we can use this content. Let's try this. Refresh. It will take some time, but okay, first time load was heavy, otherwise it's working a bit fast. Why is it not working for us? Okay, it is working, it's just that the UI is this. So we will have to use this price tag somehow. Let's see, where is the CSS code? Here. Color background, this. Okay, radius and all. Let's try one thing. And after we have to use this, so what I'll do is I'll directly copy this actually. Assets, you can convert this in those Tailwind classes. You can definitely convert this in. Let me stop the server because I think we'll have to recompile the entire Tailwind classes and refresh. Great, now we can see it much better. So what I'll do is I'll use our primary color here, which is from config, Tailwind config. We have this default color, let's use that. Or maybe it's darker version actually. Let's use that. Let me try to refresh. Yes, now it looks better to me actually. So what I can do is I can fix the text here. Let me think a bit, but what I can do, where are we showing money? Here, right? Night. Let me search night in here and let's use this code. And let's set here data price, and we'll fetch this price in our controller, similar to what we did here for each and every property map. We were able to fetch these locations and all, right? So we'll fetch this also. Dataset price, refresh, and it looks better. I'm happy with this overall thing. Obviously based on your usage it can change a lot. The UI is not perfect because it's going down, but I'm overall happy. Maybe add one more thing which they mentioned. Maybe if that fixes something, I'll use that. This. Where was the code? This one, hash map 100%. Let's just use that and see if it works. Save, refresh, and it's going out of bounds. No worries, I'll check this later. Right now I'm just focused on that, so it's working great. I'm happy with this implementation, and that's it for now. Maybe we can show you the edited part. Let's select India because I think there are 2 locations for that, not sure. Search. Okay, there are no locations for that. Kenya, Nigeria, Qatar, this, Brazil, Austria, this, nothing, Nigeria. No worries, we will have to keep it like this only for now. We don't have best data set, so it's limited. Looks good. That's it for this video. In next video, so some things that which are really important that we have to fix now is I'm not focused on this UI. Even if I don't create a video, I'm not focused on that right now. Maybe very late in this series, but now I'm focused on adding these Google Maps. So basically, when you are adding a property, you should or editing a property, you should have an option to select or pinpoint this on Google Maps. So that's one. Second is second will be to host this on some platform. Okay, like maybe Netlify or some other Heroku or some other platform. So those are the main things. Now one announcement, I will add a Google form link in comments. Please make sure that you add suggestion, feedback on that. This is for people who have been following this series. This is 97th video, right? So this is for people who have been following this series completely. Give your feedback on that. Do let me know what all worked, what didn't work. I have mentioned it in real detail. And personally, I believe that if you're watching these many videos, like 9700 videos, then you can definitely add a feedback too. And that way it gives an indication to me that what I have to plan next. At the same time, it gives an indication how many people actually went for this series from start to end. Okay, so if that number is, let's say, 10, even if that sounds really small, actually that number is too big, because people are not motivated enough to work hard on daily basis consistently. We have created these 97 videos in last 90 minus 10 80 days. So that means we have been doing it consistently. I know I have taken 5 to 6 holidays in between, but still it has been much more consistent than any other average developer out there. So yeah, do share your feedback so that I can know if it's worth it for you or not. That's a lot. Thank you. Bye bye.